All right, guys, welcome back to another interview. We got Isaac here, one of my students. I wanted to bring Isaac on. This is quite a unique story. I think a lot of you guys resonate. Come from full-time jobs, part-time jobs, and want to get into remote sales and want to know how to get started. You want to know a bit about the program before even jumping on a call with me. So I've got Isaac over here. He's actually from Australia. I know a lot of my audience is from Australia. So I think it'll be a good opportunity to talk about. He's obviously on an Australian role. Be a good opportunity to tell him about, obviously, my program, his experience, and what he's currently doing. So nevertheless, Isaac, do you just want to quickly introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Isaac. I live and work in Queensland, Australia. Was recently in the construction industry and now transitioned into doing full-time remote sales with a company based in Queensland. So yeah, really enjoying it.
Awesome, awesome. So Isaac, you just touch on, I think when we first came in contact, I can't remember exactly, I think it was like maybe September, October 2024.
hmm
You were actually on your honeymoon. And it's obviously like, obviously you must put a lot of money towards your honeymoon. It's a big financial commitment. Then you obviously want
Yeah.
to go to a program like mine. Even when you were on holiday, I think we jumped on a call. I think you were in Greece on your honeymoon. Do you
hmm
just tell you like your mindset on why you wanted to even get started in high ticket remote sales in the first place? Like from my understanding, you had a pretty good role, you're
hmm
progressing. What made you want to try and at least explore the opportunity?
Yeah, so I was on my honeymoon with my wife actually, and it's one of those situations where you take yourself out of the norm of where you are currently at, like especially in your career and your life. And I had a lot of time to think while on my honeymoon, and while I was sitting on the beach with my wife, and I was looking at several programs in the high ticket space, and I was literally every single day I was like looking, reading reviews, going over like content, listening to people's stories and things like that. I'd actually reached out to another couple of companies while I was on my honeymoon, and I ended up speaking with Sean. We had a really good conversation, and I felt like what Sean was able to provide me with that one-on-one coaching was exactly what I needed to be able to get started and feel confident making that transition. So yeah, from day dot, we started putting some goals in place for myself to make that transition, and yeah, here we are now.
Awesome. And when you're looking to remote sales, it's something that came up sporadically, like you saw it, then you
Mhm.
started inquiring about it, or was it something that you needed a couple of weeks to have a look at it, make sure it's a good opportunity, then you booked some calls in with some companies? What was it like?
Yeah. To be honest, like when I see something that I really like, I jump headfirst into it quite quickly.
Yeah.
I always kind of had this inkling that I'd want to do something remotely, but I just never really thought what opportunities would be out there. Like everyone goes down like the marketing agency avenue, like they look at, drop shipping, things like that. But nothing ever really stood out to me that I felt like I really had like a passion for and that I had a strong interest with. So when I started seeing stuff about remote sales, it really caught my attention straight away. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, who's the mentors? Who's the best person to be with? Who can help me out? And yeah, as I said, that kind of started at the start of my honeymoon all the way through probably 3, 4 weeks. I've been looking pretty seriously, and I had a good chat to my wife, and I said, yeah, like this is actually something that I'm going to look into seriously. And yeah, she was fully supportive, which I appreciated.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I remember you get some students that, like, from my perspective, that join a program and they go the
Mm,
extra step. Yeah, we got obviously a lot of resources, tools just to help you land a
mhm,
role and everything get better at sales. But some students just go extra mile and you'll message me like, hey, like this platform has some really good jobs you thought about incorporating this. And you can just tell from students the way they talk to you and the way they're messaging you and the amount of effort they put in. You're like, this guy's going to land a job in no time. And that
mm,
was you. And especially because you're based in Australia, it's a lot harder for the Australian guys just because the time zone we're on. Like we're way ahead of UK, way ahead of America, and that's
yeah,
the biggest market, especially like in Europe as well. There's limited jobs in Australia, especially like online remote jobs.
yeah.
Working in Australian hours, and you're able to land one. So, has it met your expectations? Like, what was your expectations going into it? Did you thought it was like, hey, look, I'm just going to get 3 to 4 calls each day. I'm going to
hmm
wake up. It's going to be on my time zone compared to what you're doing
hmm
now. Is it like exactly what you envisioned was going to be like?
Well, originally, well, to be honest, I think in Australia, like the high ticket sales place is really unknown. So it's massive in the UK, US. And I think that's part of the reason why I'd never heard about it before. It was just never something that had been done in Australia. And with from starting and looking at offers everywhere, like, you and I sat down and we were going through offers, and all the really good ones were in the UK and the US. And, while I had my full-time job, I was about to start committing myself to working full-time and then doing calls at night, which I was kind of sitting here going, okay, what is this actually going to look like for me? Am I going to be able to manage both? Obviously, being committed to what I want to do, I wanted to make sure that still I was really upholding what I needed to do with my full-time job, but also really making this a priority on the side, which I felt like I was, attending all of the calls that we had. We were doing constant one-on-ones, which was super helpful. So I think from the start, just like having a really good understanding of what's a good offer and what isn't was extremely helpful. You and I would sit down and would review specific offers. What's this about? Really looking like strategically at what's going to be good for what I am looking for. So I think I was probably looking, I'd say, for a good month and a half, messaging recruiters every single day, doing everything that, you and I spoke about, and just making sure that I was putting my best foot forward. The amount of Loom videos that I've done, answering questions and, sending it to recruiters and doing, role plays and things like that. It was a big process, but I knew at the end of the day, it was worth it because of, what I wanted to get out of this and how serious I was going to take it. So yeah, your guidance was definitely super helpful throughout the whole process for me, because I would have been literally lost.
100%. I think what gets neglected, especially in this space as well, is your mindset going from a corporate job. You obviously got a wife now, obviously mortgage and everything like the average person does. What was kind of like the mindset of like making that leap? Was it a discussion you had to sit down with your wife, or what was that trigger that was like, what, I'm not going to do this part-time anymore. I want to pursue this full-time. What was kind of like the mindset trigger that was like, okay, I need to do this?
I think for me, it's understanding the big picture. So the big picture for me is understanding, in 5 years, what is my life going to look like after I put in the work to do this? So, and what is this job going to give me that is going to suit my lifestyle and where I see myself? So understanding the potential of this job and where it can take you if you do put in the work. Because I can tell you right now, it's definitely not easy. And if people think that it's an easy thing to get into and to be successful, like it's just not the case. So the thing for me is just understanding that there are really good opportunities out there to, I guess, create the life that I want and to be able to have that kind of freedom as well. And I think a big thing for me is like being overseas on my honeymoon as well, is understanding that this job can allow you to do that every single day if you want to. And that's massive. Like that, it just really depends on, I guess, what you want. And, if you're happy with, doing that and being where you are forever, then that's completely fine. But I really wanted to have flexibility within my life and location freedom.
100%. And everyone's different. I always ask that question when someone joins. I think you would have understood that when you joined my program. It's like everyone's different. Like when I started, I was already on 6 figures, sales rep, car, phone, working during the day. Then I was doing calls at nighttime, sales calls. And it did burn me out. But then when I looked at the commission, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm getting paid so much. And for me, it was just to make more money. Other people, it was just like, I want to eventually just replace my main income. That's it.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, I want my 9 to 5 plus my remote sales job. Then it came, I'm working half the amount of hours with remote sales and making double my money. And I was on a pretty good wage. And I just did it for like 6 months so far, like maybe 4 months. So that's when I decided to go full time. And for you came in, it's like, I just want to replace my 9 to 5 and work remotely. Everyone's different, everyone's different circumstances. So that's great. You want to just talk about, I guess, more about superior selling. I guess you said you had calls, you inquired about other programs. I know what makes ours a bit unique is a lot of one-on-one coaching. We dive more into it, not just, I see a lot of programs out there. I'll let you talk more about it if you want. They just talk about sales skills. That's it, sales skills. But they don't actually teach you. It's cool. I know how to sell, supposedly, but where are the jobs? As you see from my program, it's like 80% is helping you find that role. 20% is, all right, don't worry about selling yet before you land the role. So you just explain a bit more about like what we offer, like the one-on-one coaching and a bit about, the program originally.
Well, as I said, like the one-on-one coaching was the thing that I wanted the most. But that for myself, I appreciate that one-on-one time with someone where I can ask them questions and go through things. And if I have issues, just like having that one-to-one time with someone who has, been successful in the industry and who has helped a lot of other people before. So that was the biggest thing for me. And that's why I wanted to sign up with you. And I think that having that time and where I am right now has put me in the best possible stead to land my dream role, which I actually did end up landing after about a month and a half of searching for a role, which was awesome. So yeah, like there was a lot of good people in the community as well. A lot of people who would like check in and make sure that if I ever needed anything that, they would be there for me to ask questions, which was really helpful. But yeah, other than that, it's been a really good experience. And I think the thing is with finding the right offer, a lot of people that I've spoken to really struggle with that. And it's such a big part of it because people get, I guess,
they don't know what questions are. Sorry to cut you off. They don't know what questions are, especially on commission only role. If you're new to sales, you're just used to applying for in the normal world. You apply, you land a role, and you're guaranteed money each month. This one's like you have to make sure which questions ask.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not you have to be good at sales, but if you could be a crap salesman on a really good offer, make a ton more money than the guy's really good at salesman on a shit offer. So it comes down to what you question.
Yeah, because I think that for some people that I've spoken with in the industry as well, and different opportunities that they've been on before, like people think about quitting high ticket sales because they can't find a good offer because it's just wasting their time. So I definitely feel super grateful for having the right knowledge to be able to find the right offer and definitely not settle for less. I think that's the biggest thing is like understanding, that there are good offers out there and how to position yourself within those offers is extremely important as well. So yeah, it's been a great experience.
Awesome. I guess last question as well. One last question. What is like your bit of insight? What's your day-to-day regimen? Like what time do you get up? What do you do during the day for this role?
Yeah. Well, look, I'm definitely not going to sugarcoat it. I think that I've been with my current role and my current company for probably just under 2 months now. And the culture is absolutely insane. Like it's just such a good environment to be in. Personally, it's made me such a better person, a lot more self-development that you have to do to be successful. We work the hours that we need to work, but I think for us, everyone is so motivated to be successful and to really, I guess, be the best possible people we could be, and obviously help the company succeed at the same time. So the company culture is fantastic where I'm at, and everything's been fantastic so far. But you do have to work those extra hours. It's not just a walk in the park, and the fact that there is such good opportunities out there to make good money and have really good commissions is extremely motivational for everyone who's in the space. So it's been good. It's been a lot of work, but it's been really good.
Awesome. I guess last question as well. Have you got any, I guess, recommendations or anything to say people that are watching this video right now want to inquire about just remote sales in general? It doesn't even have to be about my program. I guess just the mindset of what it takes to do remote sales.
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, like I think the biggest thing is it's just the first step, like the first step is reaching out to a mentor and saying, hey, what do you offer? Like, how do I get started? And really understanding the opportunity before you dive headfirst into it. I had a couple of calls with other people. I was speaking with people in the industry about what they liked about it, and really just informing myself on like if this opportunity is good and if it is going to align with what I want. So I think that as well is the space that we're in right now is actually really untapped, and it's such a good opportunity for people to get into if they are wanting, time freedom, location freedom, and you can get a lot out of a job like this. But I will say it's not a get rich quick scheme, like you have to put in the work to be able to get where you want to go. But the most important thing is having the right help and having someone by your side to be able to assist you with those day-to-day questions and those issues that you might need.
100%, 100%. Well, there you have it, guys, from full-time corporate worker to living the dream remote sales. So, yeah, I appreciate you jumping on, Isaac. If you want, you could plug any of your stuff if you want anything that you work on. If not, it's no stress.
Mm-hmm.
All good.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, there you go, guys. Appreciate you watching. Enjoy your day.